Mic check 1 2. It's the Y2K collector, and many of you hate resellers. A lot of you do. You hate them with a passion. You really dislike them, and there are channels dedicated to highlighting some of the horrible tendencies that you see come out of the reselling community. Now, I on my channel have said that I personally don't have a problem with most resellers because not all resellers do scumbag stuff, or the stuff that we would label as scumbag. And we're going to kind of touch on what some of that scumbag stuff is. I'm not going to get into all of it, but there are some things that I think that when collectors in the retro gaming community see, like when they see some of these things, especially on YouTube, they have like this visceral reaction for one main reason. And that main reason is opportunity lost, right? As a collector or as someone who's just looking to casually buy games, when you have someone in your area that is completely destroying, certain games or a lot of the desirable games, it basically robs someone of an opportunity. They don't get an opportunity. They don't even get the chance to say whether or not they want to buy a game or not. And some of the things that I think, you see resellers do are some of the same things that you would see like a scalper do. And there was a recent video that I watched where the difference between resellers and scalpers were broken down, as scalpers basically being people who, buy up as many of a particular item as they can, so that they el- basically eliminate the amount of supply in the market so that all of the demand then goes to them. In a nutshell, they expounded and elaborated more. I think they provided more examples, but to me, that's what a scalper is. You're a person who's exploiting supply so that you can drive all of the demand to you. And and then you have resellers, people who buy on margin, right? I'm sure that most resellers that buy video games, they're going to go for the best margins that they can get. That's only natural. If you're reselling, you're in it to make money. And if you're in it to make money, you're going to go for the best margins you can get. Now, if you, as a reseller, tell people your margins and people are willing to, you know, give you their games at whatever margin you're willing to offer them, at that point, I kind of put it on the person that's selling those games to you. If you're a person and you have a collection and you're willing to sell it to someone at 60% of the value, 50% of the value, that's on you. You know what I mean? You willingly know what the price is and what the values for your games are, but you're going to give it to them at that rate anyway. Then that's on you. I can't really get too mad at the reseller. But I think what a lot of people get mad at, right, is when they see scalpers or resellers buying up 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of a product so that they can kind of dominate that item. You see it happen with things like I think in the video they mentioned the PlayStation 5. You have a lot of scalpers who buy up PlayStation 5s. Or if you go to a store and they have multiple copies of, I don't know, Ninja Gaiden. If you go in there and you buy up every copy of Ninja Gaiden that you see, well, that's kind of rough on the local neighborhood, right? Because if there's someone else in the area who had hoped to be able to get a copy of Ninja Gaiden, as common as that game may be, it's over for them. Now they don't even have the opportunity to get that game because it's been completely annihilated by either a scalper or a reseller. And I think those are some of the things that turn the gaming community away from resellers and scalpers. Now, again, if you are a professional reseller or a professional scalper, that's your job, right? Your job is to go in there, and by there I mean everywhere, is to go everywhere you can and get as many games as you can for as little as you can. Um, Regardless of how many copies there are, you're going to buy up as, like, if there's 5 copies, you're going to buy them. If there's 20 copies, you're going to buy them because that's your business model. And if that's your business model, then hey, it is what it is. And there is a community out there that likes that. There's a segment of people who like that business model and applaud it and say, man, that's great. I want to go ahead and do that too. Man, I see this person is making a lot of money off of God of War 3. You know what? I'm going to buy up every God of War 3 that I can find and I'm going to resell it. And that's what happens when you live in a capitalistic economy, man. That's the kind of economy that we're in. We're in an economy where people seek out opportunity and exploit it. It is what it is. But it doesn't mean that it's going to be something that is accepted by everyone. And you may find yourself in a position where you get a lot of hate for it, right? Now, I don't think that most scalpers advertise what they're doing, right? Most scalpers and probably most of your really scummy resellers, for a lack of better terms, they probably don't even have YouTube. They're not going to show you what they're doing. They're not trying to make themselves a target of, you know, hate from any particular community. They're not going to do that. They're usually behind a keyboard somewhere, quietly just sniping items left and right. And whenever you go on eBay or Amazon or Mercari, and you buy from someone, you don't even know, you may not even realize that you're buying from one of the worst scalpers out there in the planet. But I think the people who do it on YouTube, one, it does make for good content when you're a reseller because people are drawn to that. Everyone loves the idea of getting something really cheap and then flipping it for a profit, right? It's just, it feeds into the capitalist mindset, it feeds into the greed mindset. But when you don't really have that mindset, it's not really appealing to you. It's not something that you're going to be drawn to. And I think for a lot of the retro gaming community that likes to buy games, collect games, play games, that's the stuff that just turns them off, man. It really does turn them off, and they're not into it anymore. And I'll say this. This is the last thing. Reselling blew up and became very popular when everyone had disposable income. When everyone was getting helicopter money, when everyone was getting free stimmy checks, when the money was flowing and everyone was at home and no one was financially strapped and things were good, when everybody has money, everybody loves that stuff. And that's why a lot of the more popular reselling channels blew up at that time, because everybody loved it. Everybody had money. No one felt any type of way. We are in a complete 180 from that. There's no free money. People are struggling. The economy has shifted, and people aren't as excited to see someone that's doing something that they can't do, or doing something that they can't participate in. Especially because the prices are being driven up by scalpers or resellers. So I don't know. To me, I can see the place for resellers in the video game universe. I do think they serve a purpose. I do think that they're necessary. I do think we need them to a degree. But there are levels to things. And when you start to exploit things to a level where you begin to like dominate a particular market, or you dominate a particular item so much so that no one else can find it in the wild, that is something that I could see extremely frustrating to just whether it be a collector or even just a casual gamer who's just looking to get some old games. You know, if they see that, they're going to be like, damn, well, that's the reason why I never find anything at my local GameStop, because this person's buying it all up. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about that. I thought it was an interesting concept. Scalpers versus resellers. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think there's a difference between scalpers and resellers? And do you think there are levels to poor reseller behavior? Let me know down in the comments. I'll catch you in the next video. It's the Y2K Collector. Take it easy.